Stoops at the helm. And Landry Jones, I think there's a big push from the league, especially to have that team succeed. And then I looked at, other teams like Tampa Bay. I mean, they've got Trestman, Mark Trestman as their head coach. So you've got Aaron Murray, who's a big Georgia guy, set all sorts of records there. I think Tampa has a chance to be very good. I think I made a prediction on our show already. I had Dallas and Tampa as my championship teams right now. DC, it's hard to argue with what they're doing with Pep Hamilton and Cardell Jones leading him. Actually, I was really disappointed. There's a guy named Rashard Davis who was the first overall draft pick in the draft that they had a few months ago. And fortunately, I'm not going to get to see him on the field because he ended up staying with Tennessee Titans throughout their playoff run. But right now, my two favorites have got to be Tampa, and I might be biased there because I'm only about 45 minutes from Raymond James Stadium, so maybe I'd want them to do good. But right now, I think Tampa and DC, just for the talent they have, I think going forward has got some of the best opportunities, and I think the hype around those teams right now, whether it be here locally or just nationally from what Houston has to, or not Houston, sorry, Dallas has to offer. I think if I was going to be a fan of one of the teams, that's probably who I'd go with.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because I was like, I'm actually in the state of Texas, and it seems like the state is divided. Like you go to one spot, like the southern part, really the Houston area, everything bleeds Houston, and then anything outside of that vicinity is all Dallas, like Cowboy area, like Cowboy country. So it's like being in the Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I'm saying if you were to be over there, it's like to see the Renegades actually potentially make a championship run in the XFL will really, really jumpstart something because, fans in Dallas haven't seen their favorite team win a championship in over 20 years. So to see somebody else come in and actually make a championship run will be something because like that. I mean, there's new gens of people think about it. Like me, I'm 24 years old. I do not recall seeing the Cowboys winning a championship my entire life. So it's like, no shade. I'm not throwing any shade at Dallas. Like I actually respect that team. They're not my favorite team, but I respect them. I have no hatred toward them. I just really wish that I was able to witness America's team, win a championship. So to see the XFL, like the Renegades, to come out there and do something like that'd be pretty funny to actually see them actually win a championship during the inaugural season. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
As a lifelong Green Bay Packer fan, I really hope I never get to see Dallas win a championship. Dallas Cowboys, I might add, ever win an NFL championship. That would make me very happy. But no, I think it's pretty similar down here in Tampa. I think especially with the season the Bucs had this past year, where you had Jameis Winston lead the league in yards, but then also lead it with 1,000 interceptions in a season. I think people down here have been dying for good football like that. I mean, especially too with the Dolphins, how terrible they've been. The on and off that has been Jackson for the last few years. I think they're kind of dying to see some really good football, and I think Tampa hopefully or the Vipers have a shot to give them that, and that would be nice to see too as well, especially with three teams down here in Florida who you haven't really gotten a whole lot from in the past few years. I think this Vipers team has got a really good shot to really take the state of Florida by storm.
Exactly. I mean, that's a really good point. And I noticed another thing out of all the teams that have been listed, St. Louis has their own team. I'm just now like I mentioned St. Louis, and I didn't really, it just went through my head. It went over my head, and I'm just noticing that they actually have a team. I'm glad they did that because obviously the Rams are back in L.A. something like that for the past few years. So to see St. Louis actually have another professional football team I think that's pretty remarkable. So I know St. Louis fans they probably miss their the Rams team they had for they had them for about 20 years or so, and then to see St. Louis actually have another football team under their grasp is definitely a sight to see as well.
Well, I think that was kind of the most, a pretty obvious step for the league as they were setting this up was where are we going to put these teams, whether it be a big market or what you're looking for. Because I think they have 5 of the 7 biggest markets for football. And I think obviously that was a likely step to do with the Rams having just left, was to give them a football team. Just because there's people there who are still pretty upset over it. And so to give them something like that, I think they'd appreciate, and I think that they can really get behind.
Exactly. And then do you have any additional information you'd like to add about the XFL?
Any additional information? Go Vipers.
Okay. That was perfect. I'll take that one. Okay. Yeah, because like you know, there's somebody else I know that's a Vipers fan too. So like, props to both of y'all.
No, but another thing I think is an interesting, especially now with that I just kind of thought of now that I'm thinking about it. The addition of being able to add the angle of sports gambling to the broadcast that they're going to do. Because normally with the organization of sports gambling and now you have the NFL and college football, they don't during the broadcast you're not going to hear them say how that touchdown makes that'll hit the over. So for the over bettors, or with the saying talking about the spreads and the lines, you're going to see that more in this league. And obviously, that's a huge market is betting on sports, and I think having the integration of that into the broadcast and just being more open about it, like that's part of life right now, and there's a big market for that. So having that in there too, I think is going to be it's going to be pretty interesting for to see going forward.
Oh, really? Yeah. Same thing. I agree with everything you just said because I'm just looking forward to Saturday at 1:00 p.m. I'm assuming, like I'm looking at ESPN right now, I'm assuming that's Central Time. I don't know, like the time zones really throw me off, but I'll just say Saturday afternoon. How about that? I'll just say that.
There you go.
So, yeah, so the first game will be Seattle and Washington, D.C., and then, the big teams, like you'll see the Vipers and the Renegades. Well, they're not playing against each other, but they're playing the same day, which is Sunday. So the big teams, the teams that we predicted that are top dogs are playing on Sunday. So how about this? So I'll hold on to what we said about our predictions about both those teams possibly playing each other because, like, if that's the truth or even not, we can come back towards the end of the season and I can call you up again and see how well our predictions were.
see if that's still the prediction.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Well, that's what I love about all this right now. So we've had a couple scrimmages down in Houston during training camp and stuff, and really for the first time tomorrow, we're actually going to be able to see how these teams see what these teams look like. So to be honest, I will stick to my prediction all season long. Probably, maybe not. But right now, it's really anybody's guess. Which makes this so much fun is so much mystery going into it. You don't know. A lot of people are picking Seattle to finish last place, but no one's seen them play. So, and Seattle has the biggest following right now. They're coming out in droves to come see this team play. So it's funny how going into tomorrow, no one really knows what's going on, but everyone wants to think they do. And obviously, I know more than everybody else, so I'm right. But but really, it's a mystery. No one. There is that excitement with that mystery because right now, if you're a fan of one of these teams, you're not going into it like you're the Miami Dolphins where we're going to tank for last place and get a draft pick. You're going into it, you have just as high of hopes as every other team in the league because no one's seen these teams play yet. So you have a reason to be excited about any team that you're rooting for.
Yeah, that is true. You're right. We really have no clue how talented somebody else is, regardless of their history or not. Like they had history with the NFL or anything like that. I'm pretty sure every team has somebody that's from the NFL. You
can look at a lot of their backgrounds, but even some of them who's played in the NFL for a while, some of them haven't played in a year or two. Some of them only had a couple games in the AAF. Some of them haven't just been on practice squads in the NFL for the last couple of years. So having that real game experience, they haven't had in a long time, and then now they're getting to be able to go back out there and take advantage of it. And so who knows? It's the old saying, anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday. Well, now it's anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday or Sunday.
Exactly. And then I'm just really looking forward to this. And another thing is, I'm just very glad that I was able to get a hold of you and get you on the show because, like, this was very informative. I had a lot of fun, as a matter of fact. I really did.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thanks for having me on.
Once again, that was the former professional wrestler, Troy McClain. It's always a blast having guests on the show, especially guests like him, where he has a professional background in sports and now he's covering it for a living. Once again, a complete honor having him on the show, and I hope to have him on again real soon. Now, moving forward, I do have episodes lined up for next week and the week after that, so I'm going to keep going. You'll hear a few solo episodes from me. You'll hear episodes with guests on there, and then you'll hear some entertainment, as in I'll be interviewing artists, I'll be interviewing comedians, And also, actors, if I can get them on there, that'll be definitely a huge plus. Like, I'm going to be moving into entertainment side of things as well. But don't get me wrong, I'm going to continue with sports. That's the number one topic I'll be covering on this podcast, as you can see. But yeah, I'll have entertainment in there as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you guys on episode 49. Have a great day.